in a dream right now. Like, what if I'm dreaming this?
Do you think you might be dreaming this?
Yeah.
How can you tell?
I don't know, but just like this is so weird. What if these presents aren't real and I'm not real? Because they don't have a bun, two buns on my hair.
You don't wear two buns on your hair?
No.
Whoa.
Just for one bun on my hair.
Like the real life is that you have one bun?
Yeah.
Paula is saying, Kyle, this is really interesting. I just want to point something out already about Paula. Paula last month, does anyone remember Paula saying, I don't know that I have enough to get to the end of the month? Paula, am I right? Did you say that on a call? Does anyone remember that? Yes. So I just want to point out this, and I want to make sure, Paula, you don't overlook it, because here's the next sentence. This is the first thing. So on a past call, ladies and gentlemen, Paula said, I do not know how I'm going to get to the next month. Okay. Here's the first sentence in tonight's call. Paula says, Kyle, this month I ended up with some extra cash after paying my bills. So before I continue, Paula, why are we not celebrating that you had a fear that you wouldn't be taken care of and you were? So before we find the problem with you have extra cash, and notice that you find the problem more than the answer, because the answer is right here. Paula, you, like a month and a half ago, said, my problem is I don't have enough money. Now you're on AEP with a question of, I have extra money. I would like to move you all from the world of every way is a problem to every way is fine. There's your freedom right there. Could you start the process of moving from every way is a problem to every way is fine? Well, what if I follow my heart and my partner leaves me? That's fine. That's okay. What if they don't like what I do? That's fine. What if it's fine, right? Because Paula seems to have a problem when she has the opposite problem. In other words, I don't have enough money. I don't know how I'm going to have money to get to the end of the month. What would this current Paula say to the one 3 weeks ago? And I would almost want to say, what's the Paula in a month going to say to this one? Right? Because before we go into the details of this, I want to look at the fact that we're making a problem no matter what. Right? Do you make everything a problem no matter what? Can you make everything okay no matter what? Paula literally is starting with the opposite of last month's question and is starting with the solution to last month's question. And there needs to be more energy on celebration of the revelations that, first of all, something is wrong in the future was not true. A month ago, you were scared you would have no money. Turns out something magical covered you. Are we going to talk about that? Or are we going to find the problem with you have extra money? Are we going to talk about something magical covered you? What miracle does it take for you to notice it? Paula says, I'm happy for the magic, but why am I still afraid? Because you're focused on the fear more than the celebration. That's it. You literally got money, and instead of going, holy shit, 3 weeks ago, I was horrified, and now I magically have money, you went, I gotta find the fear because fear is my home, and I'm not ready to leave home yet. I'm not ready to leave home. I'm not ready to leave that I'm actually free. I have to find fear. I have to find something wrong, right? We will still go into the question. I want you to know I'm not discounting it, but I am wanting you to notice, is your energy on the celebration that you didn't know how you were going to find money and it's weirdly here? Or is it on the fear? Every time you have something magic happen, there must be fear to counterbalance it, because it's death to the you that didn't believe this would happen. Right? The you that has control over everything and shows that everything's wrong would die if literally you found that you were miraculously covered a few weeks after you said, I do not know how I'm going to have money by the end of the month. For you to just say, holy shit, there's magic, right, is death to the you that wants to control everything. And there's a you that's not you that's trying to die, right? So we got to build on the excitement and the joy of the fact that your last dilemma a month ago has been healed, and move as if it's already healed. And you have evidence now that even though sometimes you got to at least bring the evidence in that. And so you at least water down the idea. If you see that 3 weeks out, you don't know how your bills will be paid, you have now stacked for sure evidence that you've had that before and it was paid. That needs to start being in your body. That needs to start being in your system. When you go 3 weeks from now, I don't know how I'm going to pay rent, then it needs to be followed by, well, you know what? I've done it before and I wasn't even as good at connecting to myself as I am now. Like I did it before when I wasn't as far as I'm getting now, right? So you're even farther. So we got to build off the joy and the freedom of the holy shit fact that when you had no idea that you would meet these expenses and then you did, we're going to lose that happening if you keep overlooking it to find the fear. Because wouldn't the universe be like, she doesn't even notice me. She notices her problem. Right? She notices what's wrong more than the magic. You're like watching a magic show, finding a problem. You're at Siegfried and Roy, and the person next to you is like, how did he turn into a tiger? And you're like, yeah, but the show's going to end. You'd buy 2 lottery tickets, win the lottery, and go, why did I buy the other ticket? I only needed that one ticket. What a waste of the second ticket. I won $8 million with one ticket, but I blew it on the second. And it's taxed. What's wrong with my life? It's taxed. You have 4 million. Yeah, in installments. I get it once a year. Right? So that's kind of the thoughts, right? So and if, as long as the mailman doesn't die on the way, like I want you to know how creative you are, Paula, at coming up with what could go wrong. I just want to point out that you're creative. Right? Now we got to just steer your creativity into positive. That's it. Right? You're brilliant. You're creative. You are creatively coming up with what could go wrong. Does anyone else have that? Are you unbelievably brilliant at what could go wrong? Are you massively creative on what could go wrong? That means you're a genius. You're just misusing it. That's all that means. How could you spin the creative that could come up with what's wrong in the holy shit magic? Because you can do it the other way too. You could go, how holy shit surreal good could this get? Right? That's trying to happen too. So Paula's whole question is, this month I ended up with some extra cash after paying my bills and some medical expenses, which made me very happy. But I immediately started looking for things to buy, clothes, or things for my house. And I know I will regret it. So wait a minute. So first of all, you already know you'll regret it. So one, we have 2 choices. We either go, I'll regret it, and we don't, or we don't regret it. You either buy these things and love them, right? Or we go, I'll regret it, and we don't. That's the choice you have. You go, if you're going to eat pizza and you go, but I'll regret it, what are you doing? Just either eat it and decide it's fine, you ate it, or don't. But the worst is to just go, I'm going to choose it and regret it. It's like we're addicted to regret. I mean, I actually hear in that sentence, Paula, you don't know who you are without regret. Like, I know I'll regret it, yet I did it. Isn't that interesting? Regret's my home. I can see that I'll regret it, but I did it anyway, knowing I'll regret it because I'm more connected to regret than the now. I'm more excited about and without the guilt for spending the money, right? Right? Like I actually only know the home of regret. I don't know who I am without regret. And it's going to suck for regret because you can say to it, Paula, you can say, you're allowed to feel regret in my body. Instead of trying to get out of regret or shaming regret, love regret. You're allowed to feel regret in my body. I feel that now I have it. I should give me some sort of a reward, like I deserve it. Okay, so either we have a choice. You give yourself the reward or you don't. So you can give yourself the reward, but it says, and at the same time, I feel like I just hold on to it tight and won't run out of it because I know how quickly it goes and I feel afraid. I hear more of an addiction to the afraid, and it doesn't matter what you do with the money, right? It doesn't matter what you do. Neither way matters because they aren't the answer to your healing. The addiction to afraid is what I'm looking at, right? So you could either give yourself a reward, right? Or you could put it away and do the next thing. But don't do it out of fear. Don't put it away because you're scared. Put it away because you're proud. You could give yourself a reward that's putting it away. You could give yourself a reward of putting it into next month's rent. You get what I'm saying, right? Like why does the reward, why do we think it's a reward when we beat ourselves up or do something? I'm going to give myself a reward of a drink. What if you said, I'm going to give myself a reward of a meditation? I'm going to give myself a reward of getting early sleep. I'm going to give myself a reward of going to the gym. I remember one time I was talking to someone and I was like, I want to go to this Tony Robbins, like, it was Life Mastery. It's 6 days of cleansing. And I was like, but it's my birthday, so I don't know. And the guy goes, I can't think of anything better for your birthday. Like, why don't you do something positive as a reward and stop calling a thing that you actually deep down don't see as your highest as a reward? Maybe your wiring is just that a reward is you somehow doing something that your soul doesn't want to do. And we undo that reward idea and don't call getting drunk a reward. Don't call eating a bunch of dessert if it beats up your body a reward. Don't call doing something that you regret as a reward. Hey, congratulations, you made a bunch of money. You get the reward of regret. Huh? You got that money you want. I felt like Norm Macdonald there. Hey, you got the reward of regret there, and you get to feel regret there. Huh? You get what I'm saying? Right? Like, your reward to you is regret. Hey, you get a Schwann's ice cream had a hepatitis outbreak, and they don't know what flavor it is. They don't know if it's vanilla, chocolate, or uncooked pork swirl. Obviously, it'd be the third one there. It's the worst one there. That was my favorite Norm Macdonald joke. I cried laughing at probably 12 whenever he was doing Weekend Update, and he said that. I thought that was the funniest thing I'd ever heard in my life. Yeah, somebody say chocolate there? All right, are you guys enjoying this? Is this good? Does that help, Paula? What if, holy shit, how afraid could we be if we stop calling things that we regret rewards? That's the most miracle thing I think there is. If you regret it, don't call it a reward anymore. Call it a regret. I feel like because I earned all this money, I should give myself a regret. Right? I'm going to give myself a regret. I deserve a little regret. I made all this money. I'm going to have some regret. I'm going to eat a ton of sugar and I'm going to buy a bunch of shit and blow all the money. Then I'll feel regret. I deserve a regret. At least call it a regret. Right? There is so much power in you just calling things what they are. What if we just call it what it is? I feel so excited about this answer. Paula Paula, don't call it a reward. Call it a regret and you'll never do it. That's where our problem is. I went through a breakup. I deserve a regret. I feel like shit. You know what? I worked my ass off all day. I think it's time for me to feel a regret. You guys, let's go get drunk. Let's make some decisions that will feel regret. Let's wake up in the morning and feel regret. Let's just call it regret and stop saying reward. It was a huge moment. I remember it was like 15 years ago. I'm saying to someone, I want to go to Tony Robbins' Life Mastery. I really want to go to Life Mastery, but it's my birthday weekend. But I want to get like this thing where I don't eat for 6 days and I want to go on this major thing and change my entire body. Well, I can't think of a better thing for you than that. That's the best thing for your birthday. And let me tell you something. I had migraines almost every day of my life up until Life Mastery with Tony Robbins, and I have not had one since. Not had one since. I haven't had a headache since Life Mastery. Maybe a little bit of pain here and there, but nothing like I used to get migraines that were so bad that I would come home early and I'd have to, when I was a kid out of high school, my mom would have to rub my nose. I learned my colon was full of all kinds of stuff. You go to Life Mastery, we're getting colonics, we're having wheatgrass and just everything. My whole body cleared out. It's never had a problem again, right? I did stand up. Yeah, I totally did stand up comedy with migraines. I would just be on stage and be able to do the act and you get even higher than that. But what if we just call things what they are? If it's not surrender and it's control, let's call it control. If it's a regret, let's stop calling it a reward. Let's call a reward something that's actually rewarding, something that you won't regret. So Paula, if you are actually following a reward when you have this extra money, what would that decision be? What would be a true reward now that you got this extra money and had magic? What would be a true reward, not a regret, called reward? What would be a true reward? What would you do with it? Would you go buy a bunch of shit? You can, if that's truly your soul's reward. But what would you say, Paula? Buy a new set of contact lenses. Okay, awesome. Would you maybe put some away? Not because you're scared, but just because it's the highest? Yes. See how you were like, no, I'm just doing it out of fear. No, don't do it out of fear. Do it as a reward. Put some away. Maybe next month you won't have a money question for me because you'll have money in the bank. Right? Maybe next month you'll have no money question because you'll just have it because you understood that was a true reward to put it away. It's almost as if we think that a reward is only a negative thing. What did our society do to us? What if as a reward, I'm going to put it in a CD. As a reward, I'm going to put it into gold. As a reward, I'm going to put it into cash. As a reward, I'm going to give myself what I need to heal. As a reward, I'm going to pay off my bills. As a reward, I'm going to get out of debt. Whatever it is. You don't have to say, as a reward, I'm going to get drunk and blow all my money on nothing, and then go, wow, what a reward. Let's give ourselves real rewards now. You had a hard day at work, give yourself the reward of going to bed early, drinking a bunch of water, meditating, reading a book, putting your guilt quilt on until it dissolves, and love yourself.